Welcome to the Construction Pals podcast, brought to you by LinqPal, your source for the latest in the construction world. Hard hats off, headphones on, and let's get started.
Welcome to the podcast. Our goal is to bring industry experts and community members to talk about all the important issues in the industry. If you want to hear about our specific issues, feel free to reach out to us and request it. We will be talking to experts about over the next couple of episodes that are going to look at what we're doing at LinqPal, how we're going to lead and drive this evolution. And in particular, today, we're joined by one of the co-founders, COO and co-founder, Patrick Gannon. He's been a leader in this space in lending, finance, and technology, and he's driving product development and operations. Patrick, thank you for joining us today. Excited to be with you and really curious to learn a little bit about you as an individual and what brought you to the point today.
Hey, Jason, thanks for having me. So, like you said, I've been a finance and tech entrepreneur for quite a long time now, and I've focused on starting companies that try to make financial services more useful to consumers and to small businesses. I don't just work. So outside of work, I love spending time with my family, and I love traveling and music.
Patrick, it's important to have strong passions, and those help obviously guide and revitalize you in your day-to-day efforts. If you think about LinqPal, right? Tell us a bit more about what inspired you to join LinqPal and act in the capacity of a co-founder, knowing the major challenges that are being faced by the industry around financing and payments, especially for the small contractors that are out there that are lower than 10 people. I think it's around 82%. That are there. So it's fascinating numbers.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's one of those stories. I got introduced to Yasser and Venkat through a mutual friend. And, in our first conversation, we hit it off right away. It was pretty clear to me that three of us would make a great team. And why I thought that LinqPal was going to be an interesting opportunity was I have a long love of real estate and construction. Grew up flipping houses with my family, and having redone the house that I'm living in now before I moved in, I'm personally very familiar with the challenges about the business, whether it be remodeling, construction. And I thought that bringing my fintech experience to bear might be able to make a difference to the construction industry.
And building off of that, when you talk about your fintech experience, right, can you shed a little bit more light on the struggles in particular that these small businesses in construction are facing, particularly when it comes to financing? As we're seeing, right, there is a creative destruction of financial services and rearrangement around the consumer. So could you expound upon that a little bit more for the listeners?
Sure. So, if you ask pretty much anyone in the industry, they'll tell you that payments are just a problem for the construction industry. And it's really based on the nature of the way the industry is set up, right? Each project involves suppliers, contractors, subcontractors, and other people. And having all of those entities working together, cash flows become difficult to manage. So, contractors are oftentimes waiting on payment for project A in order to pay for the materials to do something on project B. And when you're dealing with more than a handful of projects, this can quickly become complicated and expensive.
And Patrick, on that note, right, so if you think about some of the people that you serve within your ecosystem, builders and contractors and suppliers, what would be the different types of financing that could be available to some of these small businesses that would help them, again, advance and be able to do and take on more projects to grow in this economy today?
Sure. It's interesting because if you go out there and you Google small business credit, you're going to see that there's lots of options, but a lot of them are almost theoretical, right? So financing options range from lines of credit, which are really useful when a business has significant outlays before being paid. You've got loans, which can be great for a short-term need or for longer-term financing. And then you have small business credit cards and charge cards. These are sort of the typical ones. There are a lot of varieties of each of them. Some of them are super reasonable and useful. Others tend towards the predatory. And, having a solution that works for small businesses and allows them to go about their business and do things more effectively without ripping them off is something that a lot of small business owners struggle with trying to get.
Speaking about struggles too, there are already those pre-existing struggles and a significant financing gap prior to the outbreak of the deadly COVID-19 virus. Right. If you think about the pandemic expounding upon these financial vulnerabilities, what would you say is, how does it even shed more light to what's happening for these small, medium businesses that you're looking to cater to and serve at LinqPal?
Right. Well, of course, the pandemic has had a huge effect on nearly everyone in the world, right? And it's had a dramatic effect on small business in the United States in particular. At the beginning of 2020, before it hit, construction was actually doing really well as an industry. Things were growing. They were at levels not seen since before the Great Recession in 2008. But not too surprisingly, when the pandemic hit, you had construction projects put on hold. You had construction sites shut down, workers laid off, and future work postponed into the future even more. And so you were in a position where suddenly no one was getting paid to do construction. And that was, of course, very problematic. On top of that, you had this interesting secondary effect where these major supply chain issues showed up. And supplies that you would normally be able to get without any sort of question became unavailable or very expensive. So it was a double whammy for the construction industry.
And Patrick, just to zero in and close out here, what would be the top nuggets you would bring to the table based on what you just said, looking at supply chains and the industry as a whole, and really the methodology of empowering every construction business to reach their full potential? How could you highlight LinqPal helping in the near term, the top couple of ways?
Sure. So, at LinqPal, we're trying to help create a new business model using digital and operational efficiencies. We want to help material suppliers and contractors with our B2B payment and buy now, pay later solutions. And what we're going to do is make it simple to organize and send invoices for suppliers and offer flexible payment terms to contractors and let them get paid immediately. And then on the contractor side of things, we'll make paying for invoices simple, and we'll make staying organized around them easy as well.
Patrick, thank you for taking some time to share these insights. It's clear LinqPal's got a very disruptive, much needed solution that is going to be brought towards folks that had not been the focus in the past. I think that is going to help our economy as a whole move past this pandemic even faster. So it's been a privilege, and I look forward to more discussions together in the future.
Thank you very much. It's been great.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe for more episodes like this. For more information on Construction Pals podcast and LinqPal, please visit linqpal.com.